So, did the kids keep you up last night? Did you spend too much time watching the TV series that all your friends and colleagues are chatting about? Or perhaps there was just something on your mind that had you feeling restless and tossing and turning. So, no matter what your struggles are with sleep, you are absolutely in the right place today. So today we're going to be talking not your usual M or rapid eye movement sleep, but you can expect through today's experience to understand why you may not be sleeping all that well. Additionally, you'll learn how the REM, as in what we'll be discussing today, supports the restful, restorative sleep that you deserve so you can be your best for yourself, your family, your friends, and colleagues. So, an article published in Pearls in September 2022 highlights that there are suspected reasons why we sleep, but the specific physiological reasons for sleep are still unknown. Isn't that pretty wild to consider? The benefits of sleep are plentiful. We have that information, we have that knowledge and those resources, but they've not become definitive reasons for sleep just yet. The following are reasons why sleep is an important part of your healthy lifestyle. So, sleep supports the continual development and learning of your nervous system, your nerves, and the communication channels of your nerves. Your brain works while you sleep to erase and eliminate unimportant information that distracts the synaptic network or many joints or connections between nerves within your brain. Cognitive function. Cognitive function includes acquiring knowledge, understanding through thought and senses, paying attention, learning through memory, decision making, planning, reasoning, making judgments, speaking, and being aware of your surroundings. And when you sleep optimally, your cognitive function can improve. While you sleep, it's hypothesized that you get rid of waste products that your awake brain generates as a result of functioning. This is a function of the glymphatic system or your brain's waste management system. Conserving energy. Your body wants to be efficient in all that it does. So while you sleep, you're conserving energy. Your caloric needs reduce. Your heart rate reduces. Your breathing rate reduces, and all in effort to again conserve that energy as you sleep. So while you sleep, your body operates in a reduced capacity, leading to rest. All the while, your brain is still functioning to generate neural pathways or generate those nerve communication channels and joints and sort and organize information so that you can learn, grow, and be at your best. So, sleep's something that all human needs. In particular, mamas can have a tough time achieving what feels like a cherished restorative night's sleep. So, similar to previous experiences, I have the privilege of sharing information with you so that you can understand this element of your health and well-being and its importance in motherhood. So, you've heard of sleep cycles, but do you understand how they work and their benefits? There are two primary cycles of sleep, originally thought to be three, but more recent research suggests that they're actually two, with the second one broken down into three different physiological states and functions. So, non REM sleep is exactly what you'd expect, non rapid eye movement sleep. So, have you ever rested your eyes and dozed off, but you could still be hearing and still be somewhat aware of what was going on around you? This stage of sleep that you were in was called N1, light sleep. It lasts for about 1 to 5 minutes, and it's the type of sleep that your brain and body get into motion as you enjoy subsequent sleep stages. So, after passing through N1, you enter into a deeper sleep or N2. N2 lasts for about 25 minutes and becomes progressively longer the more sleep cycles you go through throughout your night's sleep. It makes up just under 50% of your total sleep. And for those of you who grind your teeth at night, you likely do so in N2. After N2, you enter into N3, non REM sleep. This is where the restorative processes of sleep occur and the restoration of your immune system, generation of muscle and bone tissue, as well as other tissue repair. And REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep is the process of sleep where your brain is actually highly active, but you're physiologically asleep. Your experience of REM sleep lasts for about 10 minutes to an hour, and it's this sleep stage that you have dreams and or nightmares. So, sleep impacts the following body systems, as well as your attitude, mental health, and ability to learn. There are a few recommendations regarding sleep, and many of you mamas are likely already familiar with them. Get a full 8 hours per night as you consider your sleep goals, evaluate your current sleep pattern, and see how you could more align with that 8 hours of sleep. Consider what you could do in your routine to improve your quality of sleep. So, we'll talk about specifics of achieving optimal sleep environment in the future, part of our REM. But for now, recognize the importance of how your sleep environment is overall over the course of your night's sleep. So, as with all the functions of your body, sleep is related to nerves, neurochemicals, structures, and your brain. During sleep, your brain operates in waves. These waves are electrical impulses that move through your brain. So you could picture the game dominoes. If you've ever watched a large arrangement of dominoes just kind of cascade and follow into each other in an organized manner, this kind of resembles a big wave. Pictures thousands, millions, even billions of domino games being played at the same time. And this is how your brain works. Your nerves communicate with each other during sleep. For example, as you sleep, your body still takes in stimulus from your surroundings. A light touch from someone might trigger a change in brain waves and nerves. Depending on what stage of sleep you're in, the touch may be enough to wake you, or perhaps you'll just stay asleep. Some fun facts about sleep. If you've ever been in that light sleep, again, like we talked about earlier, where you're kind of awake but kind of asleep, you might hear or see something that isn't there. I'm sure I'm not the only one who sometimes hears babies crying in this stage of sleep, and they're just phantom babies. No babies are crying. It's just my brain. These hallucinations are called hypnagogic hallucinations and are rather normal and ordinary as you're just about falling asleep. So, also, fun fact for you today, have you ever been falling asleep and all of a sudden you experience the sensation of what seems like a jerk of your entire body, like your whole body just spasms? This is called a hypnic jerk. Less ordinary than the hypnagogic hallucinations, hypnic jerks can be influenced by exercise, caffeine, stress, and substances just such as alcohol and nicotine. So now that you understand even more about the processes of sleep and a few fun facts, let's go ahead and talk about your experience of sleep, Mama. What's motherhood without some sleep deprivation? Am I right? In all reality, there are many times where you experience sleep that's a little more hard to come by. Whether you're going through a really difficult time and you have a lot on your mind, or perhaps you're caring for a newborn and your maximum number of hours of sleep is maybe one and a half at a time, if you're lucky. Whether you're in a sleepless phase of life or you're enjoying your usual Z's, and they don't consist of that many exterior disruptions, there are so many reasons why your sleep might suffer. Sleep disorders. I can almost guarantee that many of you are thinking insomnia. That might be the first thing that popped into your head. And while that's true, there are plenty more where that came from. Sleep apnea, shift work disorder, narcolepsy, restless leg syndrome are a few of the more common sleep disorders. Your physician needs to diagnose you with this disorder. However, you can absolutely cross compare symptoms on credible web pages such as the Sleep Foundation, National Institutes of Health, Medline Plus, and other trusted health network websites such as the Cleveland Clinic or Mayo Clinic, to name a few. Next, family needs. This absolutely goes without saying. The midnight and far too early in the morning for it to even be considered morning needs of your kiddos can certainly pose a fair challenge to sleep. There are evidence based recommendations on how to support restorative, restful sleep for your children, which can further support your good, restful, restorative sleep for you. However, children aren't immune to trouble sleeping. Again, accessing credible or reputable resources that come from trusted agencies in order to help support you and your children sleeping well throughout the night. I also like to absolutely encourage the motto, when in doubt, check it out. If you feel like your children are having an unusually hard time sleeping, I absolutely invite you to consider having a conversation with your pediatrician or other healthcare provider. Distractions. Shifting the focus back on you, mama. What causes you to skip out on your restful Z's? Is it TV that keeps reeling you in? Is it reading your new book? Is it social media? Think about the distractions that prevent you from getting a good night's sleep. How can you manage them to ensure that you still enjoy them in moderation, but without the detrimental effect on your cherished night's sleep? Other priorities. Certainly, there are seasons of life that may lead to sacrifice sleep. If you believe this is the case for you and you still want to work on prioritizing sleep more, I invite you to keep note of this so you and I can have a conversation during your next experience. Perhaps it's a discovery call where you and I can talk through the circumstances of your specific situation, your challenges with sleep, and come up with practical, effective, and evidence based strategies to help support you, even in a season of restless sleep, to help reclaim and enjoy that restorative, restful sleep. So, poor sleep environments, we'll touch on this in a little bit, but now it's time for REM. So, here is our meat and potatoes of our experience today, the mom's guide to sleep, and it's all about REM. Although REM's an acronym for rapid eye movement sleep, such as we talked about before, today we're using this acronym to relate to routine, environment, and movement, the big three when it comes to effective sleep. So, first, routine. You've likely heard about the benefits of establishing a routine related to sleep. When you adopt and maintain a healthy sleep routine, your body grows accustomed to falling asleep at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. Various priorities can get in the way of a healthy sleep routine. However, you can always recover your sleep routine or perhaps generate a new one depending on what season of life you're in. And here's how. So, first, tell a friend and tell your family. Find your sleep accountability partner, someone who's going to hold you to your sleep routine, who will be supportive of you establishing the healthy habit, but who will also be there to help you troubleshoot if you're not quite meeting your goals. Set clear expectations. Loop your family into your goals and desires. Sure, all you mamas with real young babies have children who don't quite understand the concept of a bedtime routine. However, those in your family who can understand can support you in your efforts as well. As you've learned over the years of motherhood, communication is absolutely essential for a family to thrive. Schedule and prioritize. Plan out how you will ensure you're successful with your sleep routine. For example, don't start that bread baking project you've been wanting to start at 11 p.m. when your go to bed alarm is set for 11:15. Prioritize your sleep, take care of you, and give you what you need to feel your best and be at your best. Plan ahead. Do you know you usually stay up way too late on a certain night of the week because of your favorite TV show? Record it and watch it earlier in the evening the following night. The same concept can be applied to many circumstances in your life that may lead you to delaying your bedtime. Keep your sleep routine similar daily. Try your best to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, and your body will grow accustomed to the new pattern, and sleep will be so much easier to come by. Next, alarms. Just as you use an alarm to signal waking, use an alarm to signal going to bed. This can be an effective strategy to help give your body that cue, that kind of external influence to help you support your optimal sleep routine. So next we'll step into environment, your environment of sleep. And here we're going to be talking about your body environment, but then also your kind of living environment, your sleep environment. So I am by no means a medical doctor, and I absolutely encourage you to reach out to your healthcare provider to get the okay prior to starting a supplement regimen. With that said, supplement research I came upon has some favorable effects on sleep, and some of these supplements are as follows. L-theanine. It helps you relax before bed. It can help you fall asleep more easily and sleep more deeply. GABA. In the research suggests that GABA help people fall asleep faster and increase non-REM sleep. Apocynium venetum. This induced sleep. It helped people fall asleep faster. It was shown to have even more improvements with sleep when taken in conjunction with GABA as well. Vitamin D supports your sleep-wake cycle. Most of your vitamin D is created in your body in response to sunlight, and hence the need for vitamin N or vitamin nature. So don't hesitate for 1 second to step outside and go for that 20-minute walk over the lunch hour. It'll really help support you in enjoying that sunlight that from there your body can internally process and generate some vitamin D. Vitamin C. Vitamin C helps counteract oxidative stress. Poor quality, little duration of sleep can cause higher levels of oxidative stress in your body. Vitamin B, specifically B6 and B12, supports healthy levels of melatonin, and we'll get to melatonin in a moment. Magnesium helps you regulate GABA, the substance we discussed before. It helps support healthy melatonin levels, muscle relaxation, decrease cortisol, the stress hormone. Melatonin. What's interesting about melatonin is it supports your circadian rhythm. It helps you regulate sleepy time versus awake time in the short term for disruptions such as jet lag, shift work, switching back from days to nights. Melatonin is actually not a cure for chronic sleep disorders such as insomnia. It just helps your body get back on track after a disrupted sleep cycle. It helps you fall asleep, but the research suggests that it doesn't necessarily support your quality of sleep or your ability to stay asleep throughout the night. So here's your physical environment, your sleep environment. I know you have about 300,000 things on your to-do list, mama. At this time, I invite you to consider what shifts you can make in your bedroom that and then choose at least one that supports healthy, restorative sleep that can help guide you to enjoying those Z's that you leave you feeling your best and being at your best. So here are a couple evidence-based recommendations on how to curate the ideal sleeping environment. So first, temperature. Keep it cool. A bedroom around 65 degrees or a range between 60 and 72 should absolutely do the trick. Don't be afraid to make use of your air conditioning in the summer or give your furnace a rest overnight in the winter. Research suggests that when you sleep in a cooler environment, you're able to follow your body's natural tendency to lower your core temperature while you sleep. Additionally, cooler temperatures can signal sleep, for usually when it gets darker outside, it often becomes more cool, indicating a kind of external cue for sleep. What's the best lighting for your bedroom as you sleep? Hint: none. Lighting can disturb your circadian rhythm, and thus a dark sleep environment helps to optimally support quality sleep. In addition to a cool, dark room, as you evaluate your factors, if you enjoy reading before bed, go ahead and dim the lights as you read. If you just have to be on your phone before you go to bed, consider blue light blocking glasses to prevent your brain from being aroused in response to the light on your phone or laptop per se. If you're interested in really challenging yourself and the use of technology, go ahead and grab yourself an old-fashioned alarm clock as opposed to using your cell phone alarm, and charge your phone in your kitchen overnight as opposed to your bedroom. I'll be so interested to hear how that turns out for you. So next, a quiet environment, but not too quiet. If you find yourself waking up to the random noises throughout the night, never fear. Ambient noise, such as the use of a fan or a sound machine, or even a nature track such as rain, wind, thunderstorm, can help to mask some of those pesky, disturbing sounds and support your optimal sleep. Essential oils. Research suggests that lavender is quite the oil when it comes to supporting sleep and relaxation. In addition, bergamot, cedarwood, clary sage, and chamomile are all suggested to support sleep. Be sure to keep your diffuser clean. You can use plain water and white vinegar and run it through your machine to keep it clean and mold-free. If applying to skin, be sure to use a carrier oil to avoid skin irritation if you're applying it directly to your skin. Something like coconut oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil will absolutely do the trick and your skin will thank you. Overstimulation, restlessness, mind wandering, racing, unable to wind down. Does this list sound familiar to you? Technology serves many key roles in our lives, but screens specifically are infiltrating so much so that they're actually wreaking havoc on your optimal sleep pattern quality and duration. As I shared previously, if you're using screens before you go to bed, use something like blue light blocking glasses or a reading tablet that's specifically designed to minimize blue light. Blue light to your brain is similar to daylight in that it processes and that it suppresses the urge to sleep and exacerbates your awakeness. Awakeness, that's a new one for you. Does your usual routine involve your phone before bed? Television as you fall asleep on the couch, YouTube binging until it's far too late at night to get up early the next day? Let's take a pause. See if you can come up with 5 realistic ways to spend time before bed that does not involve screens. Go ahead and take a few minutes to come up with some ideas. Some mamas with whom I've worked in the past choose reading, from an old-fashioned book, physical, tangible book, no screens attached, no technology attached. Some prioritize a journal experience where they just kind of jot down, whatever comes to mind or whatever is important to them or whatever they experience throughout the day. Sometimes it's prayer, kind of that mindfulness meditation element of just some deep breathing and some thoughtful prayer to really just relax and unwind. So, what 5 things did you come up with? Next, how realistic for you is it to commit to those 5 things for at least 60 minutes before bed? The reason I ask is that the research suggests that being screen free for at least 60 minutes before bed has beneficial outcomes on your quality and quantity of sleep. Changing habits is hard, and if you would like support with this or any other healthy or sleep promoting habit, I absolutely invite you to schedule a discovery call with me. And so we can talk things through and really kind of meet you where you're at and get you to the support and resources and information that you need to feel and look your best. So I'm sure you've heard before, Mama, that caffeine's a stimulant. And I don't know about you, but when life gets busy and I'm feeling tired, that second, third, sometimes fourth cup of coffee can be part of my intake. Caffeine in small doses can support you feeling alert and focused and less drowsy. However, when your afternoon cup of coffee presents itself in the evening, instead, it can outshine your body's sleep wake cycle and disturb your sleep. So, to combat that 2 p.m. energy slump without caffeine, try having an exercise snack instead. Take a few minutes to do something that gets your heart pumping and your body moving. You'll likely feel more energized and your body will thank you for choosing that as opposed to choosing the sugary, dairy-laden coffee drink that you ordinarily would reach for. Additionally, to those mamas who do use tobacco, nicotine, while it may feel like it's relaxing you, after using it, due to the addictive nature of the substances and quelling your craving, it actually inhibits effective sleep. It changes how the nerves in your brain communicate, as well as it inhibits the neurochemicals that support sleep. Insomnia, sleep disturbances, COPD, and sleep apnea are a few impacts of nicotine and tobacco that that can be present when it relates to your sleep. And last, the M to our REM today, Mama, movement. Movement is a beneficial tool in supporting your optimal sleep. Of all of the mamas whom I've worked with in the past, when they start adopting a regular exercise routine, the first thing they notice as a result of their exercise routine is they start sleeping like a rock. They notice their sleep improving. And again, as soon as they start integrating that regular exercise, that's the first thing they report back. Amanda, my sleep is so much better than it used to be. I'm sleeping like a rock. I'm having no issue falling asleep. I'm staying asleep longer throughout the night. And while we all have energy, some more than others, I can think of many friends and family members that are much more high energy. When they don't move during the day, they get rammy and punchy, kind of like your kiddos, I'm sure. Movement helps you expend that energy so you can enjoy a little more settled self and, kind of that relaxing, calming experience as you wind down to go to sleep, having expended that energy through exercise throughout the day. Research also suggests that movement and exercise make your REM sleep longer. It enhances your circadian rhythm. It reduces daytime sleepiness, decreases fatigue. Don't those sound like incredible benefits to experience from a regular exercise routine? So now I invite you to consider some of these questions as it relates to your sleep routine, environment, and movement. Consider these for a few moments and we'll go ahead and move on. What habits do you currently have that surround your sleep routine? How do they impact your sleep? What does your sleep routine look like? Do you know how many hours of sleep you typically get in a night? Do you know about how many disruptions you experience typically each night? What would it take for you to challenge yourself to integrate a new sleep routine or a new habit related to sleep? How could you shift your environment? How could you integrate a little bit more movement to support effective sleep? What things would you like to change? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. So, of course, there are experiences and times in your life where disturbed, disrupted, or just crummy sleep can be caused by something that lifestyle may not fix. To evaluate that, employ your healthcare team, employ your healthcare provider to help you understand and get to the root of your underlying poor sleep. Per the National Sleep Foundation, a sleep disorder is anything that is consistently getting in the way of good sleep. It affects your energy level, mood, productivity, cognitive function. We mentioned what cognitive function is earlier in today's experience. It also leads to more critical problems down the road, including conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and even stroke. If you're having trouble sleeping or you're experiencing excessive daytime fatigue, even though you feel like you slept soundly throughout the night, it's time to talk to your doctor about your concerns. When in doubt, check it out. And if you would like to experience some support, and if you would like to kind of walk through how to have a conversation with your doctor about your sleep, please reach out to me at amanda@vosswellness.com or send a text or give me a call at 484-684-5271. I would love to have a conversation with you to support you and equip you with the knowledge, tools, and skills it takes to optimally communicate with your provider so that you can make the most of your appointment and get your sleep issues resolved. So I hope you feel equipped with and are moving forward with helpful tools and strategies that you can implement to improve your quality of sleep. I hope that you feel like you have that guide, that tangible information through REM, routine, environment, movement, and can feel and enjoy a great night's sleep tonight. So, next steps. If learning more about sleep or learning more about how to intentionally craft your sleep environment, your routines, your movement, I absolutely invite you to book a discovery call with me. You can do so by visiting vosswellness.com and clicking book a discovery call in the top right corner and all kind of scattered throughout the webpage. Secondly, don't keep this information all to yourself. Share this webinar and share Voss Wellness with a mama friend who you think could benefit from hearing this message. I so look forward to seeing you next month. We're getting really practical with all things meal planning, and I cannot wait to share more information with you. If you have any suggestions or recipe ideas that you would like to see, or even, nutrition considerations that you would like to see in next month's webinar, please feel free to reach out to me and share them, whether it's related to food sensitivities and allergies, or whether it's related to a specific dietary pattern. Would love to just kind of cater to your needs and deliver information that would be helpful and beneficial for you. So save the date and keep an eye out on social media and the Voss Wellness website for registration links. So as you reflect on today's webinar, please share your thoughts and feedback. Thank you so, so much for sharing your valuable time with me today, Mama. And I hope you enjoyed the Mom's Guide to Sleep and that you experience restful, restorative Z's as your head hits the pillow tonight. Take good care. All right. So, in regards to question and answer session, one of the first questions is that I often commonly get as a health coach is, Amanda, I'm having disrupted sleep, but I'm having a really hard time falling back asleep once my sleep is disrupted. And my Response and some of the evidence suggest, try to again take advantage of your sleep environment. Really prioritize, low to no light. Really prioritize, that kind of white noise or lack of noise if that's something that you prefer. And just really try to, again, generate that environment, that internal and external environment that's so necessary and so helpful when it comes to you enjoying your best night's sleep. So if you can try for, maybe 20 minutes or so to fall asleep in your bed and it's just not happening, it's time to get up and do something different. There's no sense in just tossing and turning, moving all around. Perhaps it's something just like taking a quick trip to go to the bathroom and kind of resetting that environment, resetting that routine to try to recover and restore sleep. You could also always try an experience of deep breathing or mindfulness meditation or mindfulness based stress reduction to really try to recover that sleep quickly. Oftentimes, for myself personally, deep breathing, kind of the 4 and 4 rule, like in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, really helps me to just kind of soothe and calm my mind and physiology. And oftentimes I don't even remember falling asleep. It just kind of happens. Um, Additionally to that, progressive muscle relaxation, I've felt personally, and I know other people have enjoyed too, can really help to just almost like take your mind off of whatever you're thinking about or, kind of wrestling around with, and focusing on something, with your physical body that helps you to, again, kind of quell your physiology and just really relax and restore and, kind of get back to that restful sleep. Something interesting that I came upon recently. So, in addition to my health coaching experience and credentials, I'm also a certified exercise scientist through the certified exercise physiologist through the American College of Sports Medicine. And through some continuing educations through the ACSM this year, I had the opportunity to experience education related to many different elements of health in addition to exercise. And one of these elements of health was sleep. So they had a sleep expert who I can access his name for you currently. So they had a sleep expert on who was talking about all things, of course, sleep related and healthy lifestyle related. And what was interesting to hear him talk about was that sleep studies are actually his words, I'm paraphrasing here, but not as effective as you might think. It's a new environment. People aren't comfortable in the lab setting. They're tossing and turning anyway, because who can sleep while you're being, kind of guinea pigged like that, hooked up to all kinds of different machinery and just, all kinds of stimulation that distracts from your sleep experience. So what he was saying was that what can often help people to really, kind of understand and track their sleep is a wearable. Um, that even though the actual data doesn't give you any data on your sleep or sleep cycle or that kind of thing, what it does give you is that experience of, when your body's at rest. When your body's at rest, what your heart rate's doing throughout the night. Now, I know some of you might feel conflicted in wearing your wearable, all the time while you sleep. I certainly take my watch off to sleep just for comfort levels. But if you're interested in gathering that extra level of data, you certainly can kind of use your watch and use your tracking system and features to get some good information on, how restful and restorative your sleep is. So I thought that was really interesting that he just brought that up. And I'm struggling to find his name at this time, but I can absolutely share that information in. All right, so here we go. Dr. Michael A. Gradner. He's a licensed clinical psychologist and a doctor of sleep, and he teaches out of the University of Arizona. Um, so he had mentioned, kind of an up and coming gold standard for evaluating sleep is what's called a nearable. So something that is like an under the bed sensor or mirrorables where, they're gathering that data. It's not necessarily attached to your wrist. It's allowing you to be in your comfortable sleep environment, not in a lab setting, but that this can help, support identifying some experiences of sleep disorders. So I'm interested to see what comes of that, and what kind of the research and kind of where the direction of sleep investigation goes in the future. All right. So again, as far as questions go, um, I think something I often hear people talk about is just their level of fatigue. And keep an eye out in April for our monthly webinar. We're going to be talking about all things fatigue related. We've spent, the end of the year and beginning of the year focusing on stress management, nutrition. We'll have spent time on sleep, relaxation, all that kind of good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to talk through all things fatigue related. So if you're feeling like you're just, you're waking up in the morning, it's tough to get rolling, you feel like you're sleeping okay, there's no real issues there, but you're just not quite feeling like your energetic self, be sure to tune in to the first Friday in April, and we'll talk all things related to fatigue. So keep an eye out there. And again, save the date for March 7th at noon for our meal planning for mamas webinar. So I hope to see you there. And until then, I hope to enjoy some discovery calls with you. Take good care, and I'll see you soon.